welcome all of you to this seminar. I hope, I'm also an immigrant, son of an immigrant. We know the challenges coming from one country to a foreign country, and we need help, we need guidance. And I hope that you will find help and guidance through this seminar, and I hope that whatever plans and desires you have, you will be able to figure out how to move forward. So be strong. There are many people who are willing to help you and give you advice. So I'm going to hand it over to Vishnu so that he may continue giving you all the resources that you need. Thank you.
So guys, how are you guys doing? Okay, so myself, Vishnu Patala, and that's my beautiful team who led this whole event to be happen. And special thanks to Matoma Church who invited us. This is a new initiation which we started, where we really wanted to get immigration simple and stress-free. And hopefully after this seminar, you guys also feel the same. We are Canada Immigration. We do have 2 offices in Canada. We don't have any tie-up or agents from back home. We have 1 office in Kitchener, 1 office in Niagara Falls. We have it's a small family business. It's taken over around 10 years back from another consultant. But Canada Immigration as it is working from last 26 years. I'm eligible, and as a license holder, I can able to give you a legal guidance about how to get a PR, and that's how the Canada Immigration all started. So I believe everyone wanted to get a PR. That should be a first motive. Second, I heard that some people wanted to know about the spousal open work permit. And third, I heard that the major agenda is about the PNPs and other pathways to get the PR. Okay, so let's start with what is PR, how an individual can get a PR. I will go through it, and later on I will go with one by one everyone, and I will take your questions to give you a proper answers to that. Okay, when someone says that I need a PR, the first thing you need to know is, okay, which path? Because like engineering, you know what is engineering, you definitely ask that, okay, which sort of engineer you are. Same thing, whenever you're looking for a PR, the first question you need to look into is which sort of PR pathway makes you eligible to get the PR. So if I simplify the whole PR process, like you can see, there are totally 5 different ways to get the PR in Canada. First one, most simple, most recommended by me, Express Entry. Second one, PNP, Provincial Nomination Program. So when the PNP goes to a specific province, it adopts the name of that. So you might have heard about Ontario PNP. Ontario PNP same as OINP. Same like if you go to BC, it's BC PNP or BINP. Okay, British Columbia PNP. Saskatchewan have SINP. Every province has their own sort of PNPs. Third one is about through a LMI. Do not go with LMI, just to be put a simple note to you guys. LMI only good if you have your own employer, genuine, and paying you a good amount so that you can stick with them, then only opt for a LMI options. Yes, it can get you PR, but it's not a direct way. It just adds 50 points to your profile. But most of the time what I've seen is, whenever you call any immigration firm, they will tell you your profile is weak. You either need to go through PNP or LMI. And they will tell you, okay, for LMI, it's 20,000, 30,000, 35,000. But think about, do you even get a PR through that, or do you even need that? Because again, for example, you're writing an exam, and in the exam you need 60%. If you're sitting on 62%, you need a grace points, because already you're on 62%. So again, look for an LMI only if that is the only option pending for you. Also, if you have a genuine employer, never go for the LMI with a agency immigration firm. They are going to charge money as a middle person, and you guys will be losing a lot of money. Okay, I'm going to explain about that in the detail. Fourth one, Atlantic Immigration Program, and the fifth one is Rural Immigration Program. Atlantic Immigration Program or Rural Immigration Program, it's one on the same. Atlantic Immigration Program is to attract the individuals, immigrants to Atlantic provinces, where usually Canadians go for their retirement because of 2 reasons. One, beauty, it's beautiful province. But second thing is the taxes, the living cost is very less there. But at the same time, as a youngsters, you don't want to live in a certain place where you're not even meeting your minimum wage. So for example, in Ontario, the minimum wage as of today is 16.55. If you compare with Atlantic provinces, it's $12 to $14. Think about $16, at least you're making Do you think it's enough for you?
No.
So do you think that $14 or $12 will be enough for you then? You guys are well qualified. You came to Canada to have a good future, good finances, and again, you need to have a success in life. But because of the lot of rumors, what happened is students started to believe that, okay, no, my friend is moving, my roommate is moving, okay, my seniors move, so I also have to move. And that's why you guys end up into moving to Atlantic provinces for AIP search or the rural immigration pilot program or a community programs. So again, community programs is for basically for those communities where the population is very less. So by putting this kind of bait, the government want you to move to that particular community to boost their population, economic status of that particular communities. But again, if I'm looking into this 4 options, except express entry, you want to do a PNP, you want to do LMI, you want to do RNIP or AIP, the first and most important thing is not your profile, it's about the employer. And let me ask you openly, how many individuals do have an employer who can support you for any of these 4 processes? Got it? So you guys don't have. So now next thing what happened is, when you contact an immigration firm, they will start to push you saying that, okay, they can get you an employer, so come and sign up with them. But again, when there is a simple process like express entry is there, why don't we look at option and we evaluate the profile? Like majority of, like now I'm looking the whole set here, you guys do have a degree, right? If you have experience from back home, if not also, if you can prepare on your IELTS or SALPIP or PTE, you can be sitting around 460 to 470 range with CLB 9. Now, let me ask you 2 questions. One, if you're studying masters, what's an average tuition fees for that? 40, right? You know what's a one-time IELTS exam fees? 369. Okay. Now tell me, even you write 5-time IELTS, okay? You know that, okay, it values 138 points. Okay, if I study that, I can get up to 138 points, whereas after doing masters, you are only getting 30 points. But tell me, how many individuals tell you this, or how many times you might have heard that students are saying that, okay, no, I'm taking 2 weeks of vacation because I'm preparing for IELTS or SALPIP. You might have heard more about, I need to change a province, I need to look for an immigration firm, I need to look for an employer, I need to pay someone this much of money, or I need to work in a pizza shops, right? Again, if you wanted to work in pizza shop, or if you wanted to work in McDonald's, or if you wanted to work for the minimum wage, better to stay in India, right? 40,000, 45,000 plus the living expenses. So almost on an average, someone study for 2 years in Canada, you guys are spending around 30 lakh Indian rupees. When you are looking into Pakistani currency, man, more than 40 to 50 lakh. So think about it, if that much money if we have, do you guys have to come here and struggle yourself? Get the point? So again, look for those processes which can get you PR in an easy way, where we are going to start talking about express entry. So now, I'm going to talk about each and every process, but I will be more elaborative on this express entry because now I really wanted that every individuals who are here should do the PR by themselves. Like I also came like you guys. I spent around $350 on the 3rd day after I landed to Canada. My roommates told me that you are mad to spend $350 for someone for immigration consultation because you need to have a 2 year of study, then only you get a PR. I said that, okay, let me try. I paid $350, but the result of that was I got my PR after 1 program. I got my first house in 16 months. I got my PR in 13 months after landing in Canada. And that is only possible because when I landed here on the 3rd day, I got a right guidance that, okay, how express entry works. So my colleagues moved to Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, BC, other provinces because they thought that the PR is not possible and I did their PR. That was a proud moment for me. But think about, I also went through a stressful moment that whether I'm making a right decision because 99% of my colleagues took 2nd year program to get the PR and I was the only one who dropped that because I know that, okay, this is the pathway. So today with this consultation, the one thing which I want to achieve is to make you understand where your profile stands and you make a decision that whether you really have to think over on PR or it's a very easy, like a cup of tea. Okay. So now, when we are talking about express entry, so once again, there are different subcategories out there. So while you're sitting here, there might be few individuals who are already qualified with the express entry or might have already received a PR last year. Do you know what was the last year lowest score? Anyone?
545.
Anyone else want to guess? Last year's lowest score. Lowest score. Anyone? Okay. If I ask you what was the highest score of this year?
7.
Right? Right? 560. So you guys know the highest one. Okay. Last year the lowest score was 481. Okay. So for example, I had around 14 to 15 clients last year who were doing a second year program or who just took a 1 year program, and before they got a work permit they were having a PR card with them. The reason was a profile like an individual whose age is around 30, having a 3 years of experience from India, having 1 year of study in Canada, and 8777 in IELTS or CLB 10 in CELPIP. You guys are sitting around 480 around points. If you are sitting around 470 to 480, so one thing is FSW. So if anyone have a more than 1 to 2 years of experience from back home, the first category is for you, that is a federal skilled worker stream. So even though you are studying, you're still qualified for FSW, which can get you the PR. Do you think a person with 351 point can get a PR this year? Anyone? Okay. If you are from a health background, the lowest score was 350 points this year. So if among you, if anyone is a nurse, dentist, from health background, even if the person have only 2 years of experience from back home, wrote IELTS, still the score would be around 400. That individual might be PR as of today because the person is qualified under the human capital priority stream. It's not that you need an employer for that. Even though you have an employer from back home, you have just an experience letter of more than 1 year continuous, you are qualified under that stream. Second is federal skilled trade stream. So now it's a blue collar job, just in a basic term. All the jobs which has no value in India is basically a job which can get you more pay here, have a reputed job, and can get you PR easily in Canada. So for example, skilled trade means exterior renovation, concrete job, butcher job, machine operator, welder. How many people are working like that? Perfect. What's your title?
Construction.
Perfect. So you see, among the whole population, the 2% is only there who are working in skilled. So technically for them, they only need a score of 362 points. This year, when most of the people believe that the score is never coming below 560, 507 as of now, for skilled workers, the lowest score for this year was 362 points. Usually, if I talk to most of them, everyone will say that, okay, I want to get a job which is a supervisor, manager, engineer, white collar jobs, right? Canada unfortunately don't need them. Canada need more individuals who are in IT, who are in healthcare, who are in trades, who are in agriculture, and who speak French. Most of the individuals forget about these 4 sectors and only focus on French at this point. That, okay, I will learn French and I will get my PR. So think about, even though we might have heard those languages, it's difficult to understand or difficult to learn at this point because first of all, you might not get that much of time. Second thing, it's a new language. Why don't you spend your quality time behind learning English, which is a basic language for everyone? How many individuals are here who wrote general IELTS and have CLB 9? CLB 9? Perfect. One individual. He with, like again, one more thing. Many people might tell that, okay, your age, because you are above the age of 30, you're losing the point. But don't listen to them. People only talk about the negatives. They don't know you have an experience, you have an IELTS, and if you have a job, you will be PR by this year. But again, we will discuss more on it. But federal skilled worker, that is someone who have an experience from back home. Second, federal skilled trade program, that is for the trade workers. Third, Canadian experience class. So if you have a 1 year of experience, it can be continuous or it can be a different knock code. It can be full-time, part-time, it can be minimum wage. Doesn't matter. If you have a tier 0, 1, 2, 3 job, okay, you have 1560 hours and you completed your 1 year of experience, you guys are qualified under CEC, which gets you 40 points for 1 year. Got it? Fourth one is the PNP. Now, why I'm putting the PNP in the express entry slide is, PNP is a huge term to be used. So did anyone know that in Ontario itself there is 9 different sort of PNPs? Anyone knows? Perfect. So he knows it, you knows it, okay? 2 individuals now. Again, when we're looking into ratio, how many people understand that there is 9 different streams? So if you're talking about, okay, I will go through certain PNP, you first of all need to understand which is the PNP, what is the eligibility, and do you need an employer support? So now, in Ontario, 3 PNPs are there which do not need employer support. You only need experience letter, in which one is human capital priority stream, second is French, and third is skilled trade worker, in which they both are qualified. You only need to complete your 1 year of experience. If it is French, you definitely need to learn French. But other than that, for the skilled trade, you need a 1 year of skilled trade job. If it is human capital, you can go into IT, healthcare or agriculture. You will be getting a 600 points. Simple question. How many individuals know that if you call any immigration firm, what's the code going on for the LMI if they are providing you? Anyone call any immigration firm? Any numbers?
30 to 50,000. I have that.
Yeah, 20 to 50,000. I have heard that 42,000 in Alberta, where the individual is getting RNIP support with LMI and PNP. 42,000. So which is basically more than what you can even spend for your studies. If that much money you have, I would say still there's a good time to go back to India and invest that for your better life, where you can be with your parents. You don't even need to spend on rent or anything, and still you can have a better future. Got it? But at the same time, if you focus on getting a job which can get you 600 points, like 600, LMI get you 50 points, and the human capital or skill trade gets you 600 points. Got it? The last one is targeted draws. People might have heard in different terms, STEM category, right? The real name of that is NOC specific express entry draw or category based express entry draws. So if anyone here belongs to IT, for example, as of today, the individual need 491 points and you have a 6 months of experience under the STEM category, you will be getting a PR. At the same time, skill trade. So if someone is working in skill trade, they are looking into a score of 430, 440 something. That's more than enough. If someone is in health category, around 445. So why I'm telling you this is to make you understand that don't quote everyone in the same page saying that, okay, no, we need 500 plus points. You may not need a 500 plus point if you have a good employer, if you are falling under human capital, if you have a PNP, like a human capital, or your background depends on that. Okay, so that is express entry. So before, let's talk about PNP, Provincial Nomination Program. So now, immigration is a business, pure business. You might have heard about business in back home, medical business. You go with a cough to a hospital, they will make you do blood test, liver test, kidney test, urine test. It's cough. But they will justify that, okay, no, this is a policy. They need to rule out it's a COVID or not. But again, if you have doctors in your family or nurses in your family, they can tell you it's no need of that, right? Same thing here, what goes into the immigration is, people will tell you about something which you cannot do by yourself. So if you don't know about express entry, you don't know how to get a PR by yourself, the next thing they are going to tell you is go through a PNP option. Because in PNP, the first and most important thing is you need to have an employer. So without employer support, 80% of PNP is not even possible. 20% of the PNP may be possible, but for that you need a 1 year of experience under the human capital NOC codes or skilled. Got it? So that's a PNP. Again, if someone wanted to move the province, okay, write it down 5 questions I'm going to tell you guys. If anyone can tell you this 5 question, you can easily go with the PNP option. Okay, first question, which province? So let's take an example. Who wanted to volunteer? Who know about the PNP a little bit? Who want to volunteer? Yes? Yeah, please, bye. Bye. Tell me a province which you think is easy to get a PNP.
Why?
Okay, Ontario PNP, right? So the first question is which province? He said Ontario. Okay. Second, which stream in Ontario you're thinking to get a PR?
International graduate stream.
Okay. Second, out of the 9 different streams, the non-express entry based one, which is the international student job offer stream, he's referring to. Third, what's the eligibility? So do you fulfill all the eligibilities?
Yeah, so require a low wage requirement, that job and the employer needs to support and write down the letter for you.
Perfect. So three things. One, a qualified employer who have $500,000 to $1 million revenue, employer who have 3 to 5 employees, and third, employer who have at least 3 years in business. This is employer qualification. So any employer you find like that, that employer can support you for the PNP in Ontario. Okay. Second, like he said, low wage. Keep in mind, low wage as per the NOC code is required. So it's not a low wage at 16.55. If someone is working as a accountant or IT, the low wage might be around $18 or $20. Now, fourth thing, did you compare what's the last 1 year score going on? So for general,
Yes, I compared that and it's like right now the score is low as compared to the last.
yes. So it's out of, I would say 90 to 100 point. Usually the students stand around somewhere from 60 points to 85 to 90 points maximum. So it's again, OINP depends on 2021. Before that, it was first come first serve. OINP open, you put an application. If you're able to log in, you can able to submit, you get a PNP right away. From 2021 onwards, what happened is after COVID, they started to put a point system. So last year there was 4 draw. 1 draw was general, which was around 80 to 83 points. Take this in writing. Until and unless you are not a person who is making $35 per hour, you are belongs to healthcare, IT or agriculture background, you will never meet that much of point. Okay. This year, already 3 to 4 times the draw happened. The one draw which happened recently, that was around 73, 74 point something. That was the lowest score in last 3 years. So you need to calculate with your profile that, okay, like him, like he is already having an employer, he know which is the stream. You need to look into what score you're sitting on. Do you know what score you're on?
85.
85. Beautiful. He will definitely get the PNP through that. But the fifth question is, do you have an employer?
Yes, I have an employer, but I didn't even talk to cheat that idiot.
Okay, so now, so 4 questions positive. 5th question, employer, he's not sure. Got it? So for example, okay, his employer is all set, everything is good. God forbid, if something happened to a business and is shut down, or he fires him, or he leave the job, or he get a better job. Unfortunately, his PR is gone. Get the point? The risk factor, it all depends upon the score. Right now he's sitting on an 85. It's very rare. Trust me, I do have more than 80 to 90 clients in the OINP stream. I even sign up them if their score is more than 75. So think about how many individuals might have contacting me to create a profile, and I would say, no, PR is not possible. Because if it goes less than 75, it's a true luck. And I don't believe in luck. So if his score is good, but again, he need to talk to an employer. That's a simple 5 questions which you can check to anyone who say you that, okay, I'm moving a province and I will get a PR. Put this 5 questions in front of it and you will understand if he can able to get a PR or not. And again, do you know that on like a Saskatchewan closed one program permanently, and they started a new program, like 2 new programs recently. New Brunswick paused their entire programs. Ontario till March 2024 had no OINP draws in last 6 months. Anyone knows about it? BCPNP. The score is around more than 100 points. Even who studied their masters, maybe working there, they are even not meeting the points at this point. You get the point? So in short, what I wanted to achieve with this conversation is, it's not about, okay, sir, which province I can move to get a PR. You move to any province, you will not get a PR if you don't have answers to this 5 questions. Or even you can get a PR where you are working if you have a proper answers to this 5 questions which I just mentioned. Next, renowned process, LMI. So 2 things. 1, never ever go with this process. I am strongly against doing an LMI for anyone. Even if someone say that the employer is ready to do, first of all, get evaluated your profile that do you need this or not? Because again, this is employer product. Employer can charge you any amount of money. Employer can put you in a state that you will be working for them for next 2 years under a contract, legal contract, and he can make you suffer anything like that. So please stay away from this until and unless you have a genuine employer who is ready to pay you a median wage. Now again, the recent policy change, low wage LMI is taken off, which means you need to have at least the wage in Ontario of $26, $25 to even to go with a positive LMI. Got it? LMI, keep on side. It's good if you have an employer. And again, don't tell your employer that you are going to pay for the fees. I do have good employer connections where I tell my employers to pay for the clients if they are working for them. So again, don't corrupt your own employers by saying that, no, let us take the fees on that. Let them contact the immigration firm and do the process for you if you are a valuable employee there. And most of the Canadian employers do that. We think employer don't listen, but trust me, if your performance is good, employer can do anything at this point. Got it? Again, educate them that, okay, you have to do it because it's a law that for LMI, employer has to do the process, not you guys. So two process, AIP and RNIP. You might have heard a lot about it. When the score was very high, people was using move for AIP or RNIP. These are the very good process. Trust me, wonderful process if you have a good employer who can support you. But if you do not have an employer, unfortunately, don't even try to move to a different province or community. You may lose your minimum wage job what you're working now. And it's not that easy. But if you belongs to IT mechanical, try to create your express entry profile through job bank. Try to apply for a jobs in your own stream, specifically targeting towards the Atlantic provinces. If any employer who is AIP qualified, you get that kind of employment. You only need 1 year of experience. So now, two things. One, for example, if someone is already working as an IT professional, for example, okay? If you have a 2 to 3 years of experience from back home, and now you got a same knock-out job in Atlantic province. If your employer is AIP qualified, even though if you are studying, you are eligible to apply for a PR. No IELTS requirement, you just need 4.5. You have more than that in your academics. So it's easy thing for you. Your employer just need to be having an AIP designation. They will put endorsement, takes around 2 to 3 months, and then you can qualify to apply for a PR. That easy processes, but again, the point is, there is very limited employer who can do this AIP. Do not even look for it if you don't have an employer, and don't try to do that, okay, I will move and I will find a job. You may be losing your current employment and you go in a financial crisis.